Welcome to the Panic Button. I'm Nina.
I'm scared.
And today we're reacting to gender identity TikToks. Today we have our handy dandy panic button with us. So if something is too much for us to handle, we just hit that panic button and stuff happens. Ready for the first one?
Never.
Being a lesbian doesn't mean that you have to be a woman. Like that, the term is fluid.
Some people would fight you in the comments.
I know. Oh, people are going to be so mad at me. I know.
I just watched a whole Jubilee video and it was like conservative lesbians versus like leftist lesbians. And that was like one of the hugest points of contention was, can non-binary genderqueer people still be included in the lesbian umbrella? Conservatives obviously were saying no. Leftists were saying yes. And in my opinion, I think like labels are very personal to people. And I think they evolve and change. And like sometimes it like doesn't actually feel right for you. And then you're like, oops, maybe.
What label evolves and changes that we're all on board with?
Identifiers don't change. That's why they're identifiers.
Right. Like if I say that person's fat, my identifying, how I identify fat, it would confuse people. If I were to say that person's fat and they're skinny as a rail, but I identify fat as meaning someone's skinny as a rail, no one's going to understand what the hell I'm saying.
If I say this brownie has no THC and the brownie is loaded with THC, does that change the fact that the brownie has THC?
No. What it does show me is that you're lying. And all this is lying.
And they really said it with they put in the description, not all lesbian are women.
Am I proving you right? I don't know. I did the same thing. Like I was like, I feel like I'm a bisexual lesbian. And like so many people got really pissed in the comments. And I'm like, honestly, you might have been kind of right. Like I don't actually feel that anymore. But it was part of my journey.
People get upset.
What the hell is a bisexual lesbian? I just want to know. That's like a vegetarian meat eater.
Yeah, I don't know.
How are you both things at the same time?
You're not.
I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense. Is that like a certain grade of lesbian? Because now lesbian has grades, levels of lesbianism. This isn't like levels of color. This is...
But it is to them because it's a spectrum.
No, lesbianism isn't a spectrum. You can't make everything a spectrum.
Everything's a spectrum.
No, everything is not a spectrum. I hit the button. I did it.
Pew, pew, pew.
I hit the sky. I hit the sky. That's what you get for triggering me.
I didn't choose this one. You chose this one. How did I do anything?
Because they have their own definition.
Yes.
And they have been like, okay, well, my definition of lesbian is this. So if you're saying that you have a different definition, then that makes me wrong. So you must be wrong.
Right.
And now I'm going to make sure that I'm going to change your mind because I don't want to be wrong.
I don't care what you think lesbianism is, as long as you're not trying to convince everyone else that that's what it is, because that's what it's not.
That's the bigger problem because you don't want to be wrong. You're convincing me I'm wrong. I don't care if you think I'm wrong. I care that you have men on my dating apps. I care that you want to let them into my bathrooms. I care that you want men to be able to identify as lesbians when they don't have the parts to be a lesbian. That's what I don't like.
Yeah.
I'm not attacking you for being wrong. I'm telling you the truth of life and what lesbian has been for the past forever.
And if you try to hook up your friend with someone and you're saying, oh, they're a lesbian, and they find out that they were just like sucking 2 days ago, if that person doesn't have that kind of ideology that you do, which is very cult-like, they're going to be in for a rude awakening. Like, oh, you're not a lesbian, you're bi. I was looking for like a lesbian to date. That's the problem, because their ideology has different definitions than everyone else. They've secluded themselves from everyone who doesn't believe in their bullshit. And the sad part about that is that the dating pool is very, very small for them. And what happens when you run out of people?
Well, that's why all of them are bi-lesbians now.
Because they have to expand the dating pool because it's so small, because they've isolated everyone?
Yeah.
Well, that's what you get.
That's what you get.
I just found out my girlfriend is sexually attracted to me. Now pause, hold up. Before y'all are like, oh my gosh, Vaughn, you're literally so stupid. We literally always see you covered in hickeys. Obviously, your girlfriend's sexually attracted to you. Blah, 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 blah. Pause first. I'm asexual. All right, I would sooner understand rocket science before I understand the concept of sexual attraction. Now add in there a little bit of extra spicy trauma that makes it extra hard for me to decipher what sexual attraction is and what isn't. You got yourself a mess. This mess happens to land me in my bed after fun time.
This sounds like a mess. I don't know about you.
I was just looking at the way this person was talking, because they come across as a man to a degree, but the female is there.
Oh, yeah.
Like when I see this person, at first I think trans man, or is this a man trying to pass as a woman?
It's a woman trying to be a man.
Right. And it was how this person moved and spoke, how they were speaking, that made me realize it was a woman. I can't really put my finger on it why,
It's
what it is.
French tips and the way she moves her hands.
I think it might be the way she moves her head. And the facial
sports bra,
expression.
the tank top. When a man wears a tank top, very rarely do you see it coming up towards here. Usually it goes straight across the shoulders. Women have shoulders that go like that.
I don't
shape.
Yeah.
And it's very clearly a woman. And I want to touch on what was just being said about the whole asexual, doesn't understand sex. Like, then why are you covered in hickeys? Is that not a part of
Sex?
sexual, like,
Physical affection.
right?
Physical affection.
But you don't understand it?
Leads to sex. So, are asexuals physically affectionate like that? I don't mean just hugging and holding hands. I mean like making out and all that other
Hickeys
stuff.
and all that kind of thing.
Right. If it's sexual in nature, wouldn't that make them not asexual?
But if you're asexual, but you're allowing they say boyfriend.
Yeah.
If you're allowing your boyfriend to do those kind of things, then clearly your boyfriend is sexually attracted to you. Mm-hmm. To say that you don't understand is crazy. You mentioned trauma. I think that you're just confused.
Wait, she said girlfriend.
I thought you said boyfriend.
I thought I heard. Oh, whatever.
Mess happens to land me in my bed after fun times, bare to the elements, laying next to my partner lovingly, as my partner's like, man, sometimes it's just so hard to control myself. Pause. Not in a way that would violate consent. Hold on, okay? Just want to clarify that there was, in fact, enthusiastic consent. But I was just like, my partner was like, yeah, I know how to control myself. And I was like, oh my gosh, does that mean you're sexually attracted to me now? To which my girlfriend turns and looks at me and is like, aghast, like,
You know what it might be as well that I'm noticing? It's the way she's more enclosed. Mm-hmm. Men take up room. Even when they don't notice they're doing it, a lot of trans women, they'll take up room. But women are more enclosed, especially women who are trying to pass as men, because most of them, they don't want to be sexualized by biological men, by men. So, it's kind of a thing that they do without even noticing it because
Closed off bodies. Yeah.
it's been unintentionally learned.
Yeah.
you didn't know? And I was like, what do you mean I didn't know? Obviously, like, what do you mean? They're like, I've been sexually attracted to you the whole time. And I'm like, the whole time? The whole time? The whole time? They were like, yeah, I actively decided to invest more in, like, our platonic attraction rather than, like, sexual attraction. And I was like, that's wild. Because for me, I'm thinking, oh my God, that makes it so much worse that I literally made you third wheel several times before we started dating. But then secondly, I was like, so you mean when I'm, like, giving you the look, that actually, you're actually then aroused. And I'm like, I'm losing my mind. I'm like looking at my partner. I'm like, what do you mean? Do you mean you just like go around feeling horny for me? Like all the time? All the time? And my girlfriend was like, yeah. And I was, my mind's blown. Okay, my mind's blown. Now I have a better understanding of why I'm so sleep deprived and always achy.
What? I missed all of that. I missed all of it. I don't understand what just happened. I really don't know.
Well, good for you. I found an explanation video, which is the next one we have.
Okay.
Okay, I've gotten this question a couple times on this video, so I'm gonna try to explain it as quickly as possible. You do not need to want someone to want to do the deed. And now I think this is the most common misconception of asexuality that there is, because I think a lot of y'all are confused. You're like, asexuality, oh, so you just don't want to be engaged in sexual activity. And that just ain't the case. That ain't the case. All the asexuality is having little to no sexual attraction to somebody else. Alright? So, that's wanting somebody else, desiring somebody else.
Does that mean you're attracted to yourself?
No, not necessarily. Maybe they're just not attracted. Doesn't that... Why are you in a relationship where you're not attracted to somebody? Can you get
Right.
attracted to people...
Anyone else? Yeah.
Right. Or is it just this person that you're dating?
Right? Isn't that an uncomfortable place to be at?
Yeah, why would you date them?
Well, because apparently that's all you've ever known.
No, you chose to get into a relationship with someone you're not physically attracted to. I don't get that.
I don't... Let's keep hearing it, I guess.
Having that lust towards somebody else. You know, you look at them and then you're like, ooh, you see that and you want it. I don't got that in my system. I don't got that downloaded in my system. However, that don't mean I don't enjoy the act. If that makes sense. Like, it's not necessarily like, I want that person. I was like, I like the act. The physical activity is nice. Just a heads up to anybody watching this video, I am heavily on fucking cold medicine, so my brain is not here. So a warning to watch this video, but I am posting it because I thought it was a little funny, so there's a lot less edits in this one. Don't judge me too much. I'm gonna regret it in the morning, but that's a problem for another day. Now, the most PG-13 way I can explain this, right, is if, like, we go to a buffet, you, like, look at a bunch of food. We use food a lot of times, all the time, for metaphors of sexuality. Like, think bisexuality. You know, you like the Diet Coke, and you can also like a Dr. Pepper at the same time, and that's totally possible. But also, you could just not be really vibing specifically with any drink. Nothing calls out to you. You don't necessarily want one in particular, but you're thirsty. You want something, but you're not like, this one. I'm attracted to this one. This one is, oof. It's making me thirsty. I am simply thirsty. And I would like a drink. Please. Yeah. But it's not like I love Diet Coke. Diet Coke is everything. I need Diet Coke. I see Diet Coke and I am just thirsty. I'm like, if I'm thirsty, I could go for anything. Okay, so long as they're like, you know, respectful human being. But like, preferably my girlfriend, you know, because like, we cool, we chill. Me and my girlfriend chilling. So like, maybe you've seen this. Date night Friday. Oh my god. I'm sorry, I'm sick. I'm delulu off of cold medicine. Anyways, hope that helped.
Oh, you want to explain that one to me?
I don't think, like, you're not explaining what asexual is, right? Because that sounds more like poly,
It sounds like bisexual to me.
but polyamorous also, right? Because you're like, I don't necessarily want my partner.
When
I'm thirsty.
she was talking about not wanting the Diet Coke or the Coke, I was assuming like male and female, right?
No, they're like suggesting different partners.
So people in general?
It's a metaphor for the partner they're choosing and how they don't want to have sex with the partner at any given time.
Oh, well then it's the partner they're choosing that's making them asexual.
Right.
So that's a choice.
But
That's actually a choice.
What they're saying is that sex is so here, there, and everywhere that as long as they're having sex when they want sex,
Yeah.
they're fine.
I don't
But they
get
don't
it.
want sex all the time.
I don't
They seem
get-
to think that most people want sex every day, all day. Because they're trying to be a man. Oh my gosh, it makes sense now. Because they think what that woman believes a man is horny 24/7. Therefore, since she's not horny 24/7, she's asexual.
Oh. Well, see, we figured it out. Well, you did. You explained it.
A majority of people who identify as trans do not have gender dysphoria. And it's evident with this kind of thing. Because someone who has gender dysphoria doesn't act what they think a woman does or what they think a man does. They act the same way they would, but it's more comfortable to look like a woman or to look like a man. This person is acting out, like a lot of trans people are, the way they perceive the opposite gender, which is never in a good light.
If I have to think this hard to be friends with you, I don't want to do it.
There's a lot of gymnastics.
That was
I
a
know.
lot.
I know.
No, thank you.
Oh, this thing.
I could see that being in your head is a lot. I don't want to be there with you.
I agree.
There's this one. I haven't actually seen this, but it's like Matt Walsh. Whoa.
But with boobs. Matilda Walsh.
Matilda Walsh. Whoa, that's some stuff right there.
Yeah, it's very disorienting.
What?
It's very disorienting because, like, if you scroll just enough, like, there you're like, huh, it's definitely a chick that's about to sit down. And then you play, and you're like, yo, did some AI do this or something?
So I got served today at the pharmacy, and I'm not saying men can't look like this because please go off, kings, but like I'm not doing damage to masculinity. I think y'all are when you serve me, when you call me a man, right? Like I'm not a man.
If this person was in a trench coat, I would think it was a man.
100%. If you like floating head them, it's totally a man.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but from the neck down, it's
totally
woman.
It's very
like
drawing.
a centaur. Whoa. Trippy,
But it's a real
dude.
person. It's a real person.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a man. Don't consider me for the pool of men. And maybe the people who are like, oh, masculinity is in decline. Well, stop thinking I'm doing anything with it. I'm not part of that equation. Count me out.
So I'm so confused
What
at
would
what
you
they're talking
call
about.
them?
Would
you call them sir or ma'am? Based on the face, I'd say
well,
sir.
a lot of men get tits.
It's called gynecomastia.
So my assumption I would go by the face most of the time. You know what? I wouldn't even say sir or ma'am. At this point, you don't want me to be nice to you. So I'm just gonna say have a good day, and that's it. We don't need to sir and ma'am this up. I'm not that pleasant.
I don't need to acknowledge you.
You know what I mean.
Yo, they said that they got sirred at the pharmacy, which means biologically you must be a man. The pharmacist is sirring you.
Is
they got
it?
some papers?
Is
Okay,
it?
we'll give them the doubt that they didn't say the pharmacist misgendered them, but I'm just saying.
Maybe they were just going by the voice and they weren't looking up.
Yeah, because that voice screams man.
Right. But the tit scream could kind of be a man.
Right?
So we don't know.
That's a rack, that's for sure.
Go off, queen.
Slay.
Slay, queen, slay.
So, what are your thoughts?
This is romanticizing a medical condition.
Yeah, absolutely. When I had to take insulin for the first time, I cried my eyes out. It was never a fun process. If I had gender dysphoria and I saw someone getting this giddy about taking medication,
Yeah.
it would make me sick to my stomach.
And they're feeding off of each other, too.
Oh yeah,
It's
this is
sick.
the trans joy they're talking about, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like two drug addicts.
Giving each other heroin. They're riding this high together, and you can see it all over them. But at the end of the day, what are they? A straight couple.
Yeah.
That feel special for being in the LGBTQ because they've medicalized themselves into being a straight couple.
Technically, they are a straight couple. And because they don't pass very well at all, they're definitely a straight couple. Like some people would say that.
Yeah,
Some people
it's like
would
no
say-
matter which way you spin it, they're just a straight couple.
Yeah. Or you could say that they're trans straight. Yeah, they're trans straight. However you want to spin it.
They're still,
Straight.
yeah, with extra step.
Like and subscribe. Join our
Comment.
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 And like this video.
Share it with a friend.
Join our membership
Share it with a friend.
early access to our
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing this time.
for early access to our videos.
Share it with a friend.
Prioritize commenting.
Beetlejuice.
Uncensored videos and all that.
I'll give you a crisp high five.